Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera to everyone. My name is Dr. Emilia Fuziana Azmi and I'm from UiTM. Inshallah, today I'll be presenting a brief introduction of our paper entitled Uplifting Women Empowerment, Unveiling the Significance of Proposing Hibah as an Alternative to Nafkah Security for Widows. Let me first introduce our team members. There are 5 members in our team. Together with me, Madam Nur Laila Ahmad, also from UiTM. We have also Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Zaharuddin Zakaria, Professor Dr. Nik Salida Suhaila Nik Saleh, and Associate Professor Dr. Mushadat Hasbullah from USIM. So before we proceed, I would like to draw your attention to the problem of frozen assets in Malaysia, which is getting worse from time to time. And obviously, it requires an exceptional attention from each and every one of us. It is important to understand that the issue of frozen assets concern with the distribution of property. And as a Muslim, we are all aware that death is certain. Therefore, as a Muslim, we must make a preparation, a proper planning of our wealth and asset, so that when we are no longer in this world, we are going to leave our family and legal heirs in peace and harmony. So this is basically what we should have done as a Muslim. In recent years, there has been an increasing interest in studying and promoting Hibah as one of the alternatives in Islamic estate planning. So speaking of Hibah, Hibah is a form of gift which is given by the donor to the named beneficiaries, i.e. the donee. Initially, the idea of introducing Hibah is to help those who are in need, especially in occasion where they have lost their loved ones. Therefore, this study considers Hibah as a solution if a person decides to distribute his property during his lifetime. And this study also aims to focus on women rights and entitlements over the husband properties, especially in order to help those widows who have lost their spouse to survive further. Moving on to the significance of this study, the previous studies have shown that most of Muslims in Malaysia are very skeptical about planning appropriately for their wealth. In response to this problem, it is interesting to highlight that the awareness in regard to the importance of estate planning is crucial for women, particularly to avoid economic dependency on men. Understandably, a proper Islamic estate planning helps the beneficiaries to utilize the asset better, and eventually it will strengthen the Muslim economy. Apart from that, this research also focusing on how to protect women, to be specific, widows, to safeguard their rights in the entitlement of the husband's property by way of Hibah, towards preparing them to be emotionally and financially prepared for a better future. As for research methodology, this study adopts doctrinal approach as it requires an examination of legislation relating to Hibah and Nafkah based on several legal provisions from the various statutes in Malaysia. This approach is significant to clarify the current and existing legal provisions in regard Hibah and Nafkah from the various legislations, as a specific Hibah and Nafkah law is yet to be enacted in Malaysia. Lastly, this study also adopts library-based research where the data were collected from the primary and secondary sources, which include Al-Quran, Hadith, journal articles, case law, and dictionaries. For research findings, it is observed that the existing laws addressing Nafkah issues are inadequate to cater the needs of Malaysian women, particularly widows. As such, there is a crucial need for an amendment to the existing legal provisions in order to clarify and strengthen women's maintenance right, i.e., right to nafkah. Apart from that, this research proposed for a proper plan to be developed in securing the widow's rights, as this initiative is seen necessary due to the fact that widows are exposed to various risks in the entitlement of the husband's property. To simply put, this research aims to concentrate on educating women to start planning for a proper property distribution during the lifetime of both spouses. Why? To avoid misunderstanding and any unexpected events to happen in the future. And most importantly, this study aims to concentrate on Hibah instrument, as Hibah is considered as an effective method of distribution. For the implications of this study, overall, this study gives valuable information on the existing legal provisions governing Hibah and Nafkah in Malaysia, and also suggested for certain significant recommendations to secure women's right in property distribution, especially widows. It is hoped that the findings of this study will shed light on the issue of awareness on the need of a proper property planning by way of Hibah for women, which in the end will benefit widows after the death of the husband. To conclude, Hibah is somehow different from the features in other instruments, where Hibah could be made to anyone that the donor wishes to give away his property, including his family members. Hibah could also be made during the lifetime of the donor. So it is hoped that the findings from this research would be useful for the Malaysian women in moving towards financial independence, particularly after the death of the husband. Apart from being mentally and financially ready to be achieving a promising or optimistic future. Well, that brings me to the end of my presentation. Likulli bidayah nihayah. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. For more detail of our paper, please do read our full paper published in Malaysian Journal of Sharia and Law, MJSL website. Shukran.